Om. 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 Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing last week, we are studying the 10th chapter of Sathya Sai Vahini, where Swami is talking about the various paths. After completing Karma Yoga, Karma Marga, Karma Yoga actually, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, Swami is introducing us to the scriptures of Sanatana Dharma. And there were two concepts which we discussed last week. One was Swami wanted us to keep in mind the most important thing, that the texts of the Sanatana Dharma in Bharat are Ishvaravani, or the word of God, and they relied for their authority on Vedam itself. The Vedas have the authority on Veda itself. Swayam Pramanika is the word Swami has used. Whereas all the other religions in other countries have relied on scriptures which were revealed by certain individuals who can either be God in human form or others who are endowed with divine attributes. That was what we discussed. So we sort of came to a unanimous consensus that the Vedas are universal in their application. They deal with the most fundamental truths which do not, which are available for everyone in the world. I think that was something which we discussed. The second one topic which we discussed was about the language itself. I think the language where the Sanskrita was the language in which the rishis heard, because Shruti means to hear. I think we also discussed that the rishis experienced, because the reality is the truth is beyond thought or word. And what they experienced, they were able to communicate, and that's what was heard later on and transmitted through hearing as Shruti. And that Samskrita is the refined language which has the vocabulary to communicate certain spiritual truths. And so those were some of the points which we discussed. And I think we can continue from where we left off. I will ask Sister Kalyani to, we will just read it once, and if anyone would like to discuss any of the points, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can move forward. Saira.
Sairam, at this point, we have to keep in mind another very important truth. All other religions prevalent in the world hold as authoritative communications made to some holy person by God Himself in His corporate form, or through some superhuman personalities or embodiments of parts or portions of divinity. Bharadiyas do not follow this line. They declare that the Vedas are based on no human authority. They do not depend on any man for their validity. They are emanations direct from God. They are primeval. They are their own authority and validity. They were not written down or composed, constructed or put together. The cosmos or creation is limitless, eternal, and it has neither beginning nor end. So too, the voice of God, namely the Vedas, have no limit. They are eternal. They have no beginning nor end. Ved, the root from which the word Veda is derived, means to know. When knowledge began, the Vedas too manifested. The rishis visualized and announced them. They are the seers of mantras, the mantra drushtas.
Thank you very much, sister. So I will open it up for discussion if anyone would like to discuss any of the points which we discussed last week or any other points which you would like to discuss. Saira. I think we are okay. Then we will proceed further, sisters.
The Vedas have two major sections, the Karma Kanda and the Jnana Kanda. First comes the Karma Kanda and it is followed by the Jnana Kanda. In the Karma Kanda, a number of different kratus or sacrifices in which oblations are offered in the sanctified fire are mentioned. Most of them have been given up by the Bharatiyas in recent times, since it has become difficult to perform them with the exactitude the Vedic rules prescribe. Some still continue in a very attenuated form. In the Karma Kanda, the moral codes are insisted upon very much. The moral rules and restrictions regulating life and conduct referred to the brahmachari, the student stage, the grihastha, householder stage, the vanaprastha, recluse stage, and sannyasa, monastic stage. Also, the Karma Kanda declares what is right and wrong for people following various professions and occupying different statuses. These are being followed here and there in some thin form by people in India.
Thank you very much, sister. Auntie, shall we read Telugu?
ఒకటి కర్మకాండ, రెండవది జ్ఞానకాండము.
One is Karma Kanda. The second one is Jnana Kanda.
మొదటిది అనగా కర్మ కలాప భావము.
First means which is of karma. I don't know, many manifestations of various karmas.
కర్మ కలాప భావము. పారమార్థిక జ్ఞాన మార్గము, భావము, కర్మకాండలో భావము. There is a comma there.
Yeah, Paramarthika Jnana Marga. So the Jnana Marga, which is related to the supreme goal and that feeling.
Yeah. కర్మకాండలో వివిధ క్రతువులు పేర్కొనబడినవి.
So in the Karma Kanda, they have taken various names.
క్రతువులు
various rituals, various rituals, Vedic rituals, which have taken various names.
ఆ క్రతువులలో అత్యధిక భాగము ఇప్పటి పరిస్థితిని గతిని అనుసరించి సాధ్యము కావని విడనాడపడినవి.
So among these rituals, many of them, or the greatest portion, have been given up today due to the current circumstances, because of which it is not possible to do them.
అయితే కొన్ని ఈనాటికి ఏదో ఒక రూపమును నిలిచియే ఉన్నవి.
But some of them, a few of them, even today, in some form or other, they are still prevalent.
కర్మకాండలో ముఖ్య భావము మానవ ధర్మములు.
In the Karma Kanda, the main feeling is the dharma of human beings.
గృహస్థ, వానప్రస్థ, సన్యాస, బ్రహ్మచర్యము అనుబడు ఆశ్రమ ధర్మములు.
So they are dharmas related to the various stages of life, such as brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa.
వివిధ పదవి ధర్మములు నేటికి కొంత కొంత అంతో ఇంత మార్పు చెందినను లోకంలో కనిపించుచున్నవి.
So various stages or states, dharmas related to these, even today in some form or other, even though after some changes, they still are prevalent.
సాయిరా.
Saira. Thank you.
I think they stopped there.
Yes, Auntie, thank you. So Sai Ram, everyone. I will open it for discussion. Swami is introducing the major divisions of the Vedas, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Swami is introducing us what the Karma Kanda is all about. So I'll open it up for discussion. Anyone would like to share any thoughts?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Kratu means it's a sacrifice. It's oblations which are offered to the Lord, to God, to Yagna Deva. I think Kratu is only meant that.
Yes, Auntie.
Sai Ram.
Thank you, Auntie.
The Vividha Padavi Dharmamulu, what is that referring to?
Padavi means different states or stages.
That's
Sai
different
Ram,
from
Auntie.
ashramas?
Pardon?
Different from the ashramas?
They are sort of related to the ashrama. I think Swami has only mentioned the ashramas. Swami did not mention the varnas. So, because the Vedas, they basically look at only the stages in terms of dharma. So I think I will open it up on others. Maybe I will share my thoughts and then others can come. Because the Vedas deal with spirituality, everything about attaining God. And so they focus solely on what has to be done at different stages of life. Okay. But there are others, smritis, which have come about, which are not necessarily shruti. They extend and expand on this, and they give certain varna related activities and dharmas, things people have to follow and do. But as Auntie said, this only talks about kratu. Kratu means these are Vedic sacrifices or Vedic rituals, which are generally used along with fire in which everything is offered. Okay, so again, that offering to the fire itself, Swami would say, is only one aspect of it, but there is an inner meaning in that. As Swami has, I think in the Telugu, Swami says, Paramarthika Margamu, Swami has already said, Jnana Margamu, the knowledge actually is present, prevalent, or taken on these forms. Okay, so it is these kratus also are Jnana Marga in some form or other. I think that's the way so I read that. Swami saying the Paramarthika Jnana Margamu, Bhavamu, that feeling is expressed through these kratus. I think that's the way to take it. I don't know. Auntie, yes. Auntie?
Vividha Padavi Dharmamulu. That means Padavi is the position a person holds. That's either he is sannyasa or brahmacharya or grahastha. That's the Padavi, that's the position which a person holds. Those, according to that, this they have prescribed some rituals. Sai Ram.
See, that's one of the reason, I see because a brahmachari may not be an Agnihotri. But Grihastha is an Agnihotri.
Yeah.
If you go to Vanaprastha, they are not Agnihotris. Whereas if you go to Sannyasa, they also don't do Agnihotra. So the thing is, that's why I just said Vedic ritual, because certain practices are prescribed according to the Padavi. But when we are in Grihastha stage, many of these Agnihotra activities take place.
They're not.
Other ashramas limited or they support or something like that, but not necessarily they undertake.
So the padavi is the dharma related to the different padavi?
Position. I think
Okay.
what Auntie said is position.
So is it just referring to the brahmacharya, etc., ashramas, or like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sanjay, go ahead.
Sarah Marano, you made a very good point about the Paramatika Jnana being at the root of the Kritus. Would you mind reading that Telugu sentence again?
Yes, Auntie will read, Auntie.
Which one? Which sentence?
Auntie, Paramarthika Jnana Margamu Bhavamu.
Karmakandalo Mukhya Bhavam Manav, that's it, that sentence?
No, the next one, I think, Auntie.
లోకమున కనిపి ఈ పారమార్థిక భావములు
Yes.
రెండవ భాగమున, దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద అనగా జ్ఞానకాండమున వీటినే వేదాంతము that we
No,
have,
Auntie, no, we have not gone there, Auntie.
we have not gone there. Yeah.
No, if you come to the second sentence or third sentence, see, Paramarthika Jnana Margamu Bhavamu Karmakandalo Vivida Kattuvulu Perkonam. So Swami is saying the same Paramarthika Jnana Margam in the Karmakanda, they have various different, they are present as Kratus in different names. Paramarthika Jnana Margamu Bhavamu Karmakandalo Vividha Kratuvulu Perkona Padinavi.
That sentence,
Yes, Auntie.
Paramarthika Gnana Margamu, that is the second portion. First is Karmakanda, second is Gnana Kanda. That's what he is trying. Bhavamu, Karmakandalo Vividha, how do you connect that Karmakanda and Gnana?
So, Auntie, Swami first says Okati Karmakandamu Rendavali Jnana Kandamu. That is the first sentence.
Yeah,
so
correct.
he is saying one section is Karmakanda, the second section is Jnana Kanda. Then Swami says Modatti Anaga Karma Kalapa Bhavamu.
Bhavamu, yeah.
So the first means it is Karma Kalapa Bhavam.
Yeah.
Then Swami goes on to explain Paramarthika Jnana Margamu Bhavamu Karma Kandalo Vivida Kratuvulu Perkona Padinavi. So Swami is saying Paramarthika Jnana Margam, the path of Jnana Marga, or the feeling of that, the Bhavam, Karma Kandalo, in the Karma Kanda, Vivida Kratuvulu Perkona Badinavi. So they are taking the name or form of various rituals, Vedic rituals. So the thing is, it is not devoid of the Paramarthika Jnana Margamu or Bhavamu. They are present even in the Kratu in various names, is the way I understand. So there is it's not that they are separate. It is just the same Bhava is expressed through certain rituals, is I thought what Swami is saying in that sentence. But I don't know how the translation is.
I feel,
Yes, Auntie.
Sairam,
Yes, Auntie.
Paramarthika Gnana Margamu, I think there should have been a full stop.
No, but Swami is there, he's not talking about Jnana Kanda. I thought he's still continuing this entire section is only about Karma Kanda. But Swami is saying the same Jnana is present in the Karma Kanda
Also.
in the form of various rituals. So it is not that they are devoid of Jnana.
Okay.
The Jnana principle is there, but they have taken different names in the Karma Kanda.
Okay.
That's the way.
Saira.
Is karma kalapa ritual action or?
Kalapa means, I am not finding an equivalent English word. It is the manifestations of
various actions are kalapa.
Collection of all activities is kalapa. What is the translation of that? It says
it's a peacock's kalapam. No, peacock's kalapam is opened. Yeah. That's a kalapam. Yeah. Kalapam is a bunch of things.
Various manifestations of you can say
Yeah.
the spreading of the the entire.
We say Natikalapa.
Yes.
Natikalapa. Shiva's Tandava Nrityam, we say Natikalapa.
So it is like activities taking multiple shapes. That multiplying of actions also you can say. The collection of multiplying actions, something like that. It's not
group or something like that.
Yes, group. Yes, collection. Yes, Sanjay, you asked, we read. So
I just wanted Still thinking about it.
Yeah, so I think, yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
Sairam, brother. So the jnani who is already have learned and digested and living as a oneness, has experienced the oneness with God, is following these rituals in various stages of ashrama. Is that how we should understand?
Yeah, very good question, sister. So I think sister is asking, is the jnani is the one who is practicing this in various stages, or is the jnani belongs to some stage alone?
Sairam, obviously Jnani will not be doing this one, obviously. But it means Jnana could be developed through this karmas through. So at one stage, it develops, the certain karmas develops jnana in us. And after all, when I become a jnani and I will not be doing these karmas, as it is obviously understood, no? So that's what I just want to say. It helps for a person to become higher in jnana. And when it is fructified, he will not be doing this one. So it's an aspirant. Even through karma, actually, definitely it is the path. No? So through karma, we go to jnana. So that's it is not merely a karma. It will take us to jnana. Thank you, Tehran.
Thank you, brother. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts?
Saramana.
Yes.
I was just going to say that it is through karma only you can come out of karma, kind of a thing, the consequences. So that way, the essence of what the following Jnana Kanda comes, that is established here. And by doing that very same karma, the seeker will establish themselves in jnana, based on what Brother Shivdas also was saying. Essentially, by doing the stipulated kratus in a manner that is prescribed, irrespective of whatever um, stage of life they are in, whether it is brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyasa, they, by doing that actions with sincerity, I think it helps them to see the subtle or the causal behind the gross actions that are being done. So just wanted to add that.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Sairam, brother. Can you
Yes.
clarify what is mentioned by, I know kratus are sacrifice, in which obligations are offered? What are the obligations they're referring to? Mani auntie, you said something.
Oblations, Amma.
Oblation. Okay,
Oblation.
oblation. Okay, I got it.
It's not obligation, oblation.
Yes, sister. No, okay. Anyone else would like to
I
discuss?
got it. Thank you.
Because the kratus have been, I think, expanded as oblations. In Telugu, Swami is just talking kratu. Swami does not speak of anything specific, but generally kratus are believed to be yajnas. Yes, Sister Jyoti, please go ahead. Yes, sister.
Yeah, sorry. just trying to understand, is it the ritualistic performances what you do during these yagnas or karma in karma kanda thing leads to our purification of our mind or mental purification? Is that stage leads to that? Because ultimately that is why the purification of mind is most important, right? To ultimately go to the next step of liberation or to gain that ultimate knowledge or something. So is it what Swami is referring here, the karma kandas, krita?
I think my understanding, sister, is that they also pave the way to get to that point. The For Chitta Shuddhi, Swami is all activities are supposed for purification of the Chitta, which
Yeah.
should ultimately get us to that point. Yes, you're right, sister.
Okay. So basically kratus are that leads us to the jnana kanda is.
Yeah, so I think Sister Vani's question was, where is the jnani in all this? I think the Swami, Vahini, I think I have to get it. I think it's Sandhya Nivarani or Sutra, one of the Vahinis, where Swami is giving examples of people who have reached Jivan Mukta stage at different stages of life. If they have reached Jivan Mukta, that means in any stage it's possible. Even as a brahmachari also it's possible. As a grihastha also one can become a jnani.
Right.
Swami is giving the example of Janaka for grihastha stage. I think Gargi for brahmacharya, things like that. My memory is sort of not as clear, but Swami has mentioned we can
Right.
definitely refer and come back. So there are Swami is giving people in different stages of life who have reached Jivan Mukti without going to sannyasa.
Right.
So I think within each stage, one can be Arti, Artharati, Jignasu, Jnani. Even as a Grihastha stage, people can worry about their problems and pray to God. People can want money and pray to God. People who
Right.
can ask for knowledge. But people like Janaka, even in that stage, they have already become Jnanis. So I think Jnani cuts across all paths is the way I understand. But I'll just leave it to open it for wider discussion. Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, I am, brother. So the Karma Kanda is especially this is explaining for the Brahmacharya, Grahastha, and the Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, what their role, what's supposed to do. And Jnanakanda is going to talk about their some God's attributes and everything. And that's what I understood from this paragraph, brother.
Okay, Sairam, brother. Anyone who would like to share what does Karma Kanda cover? I think that's yes, Brother Sivadas.
Brother, you brought a good point, Janaha, King Janaha. So he had been doing these yagnas. Even actually, even he one was plowing, clearing the land. Only that Sita within the casket she came up. No, so as a householder, he must have been doing some this karma yoga, karma kanda, yagnas and yagas. No, so Vani's question can be answered that way too. As a householder or a king of a country.
Okay, so if anyone is interested in this, whether anyone can reach, you should read Prashnottara Vahini. In Prashnottara Vahini, Swami is giving the example of various, even women attaining at different stages, men attaining in different ashramas. All are covered in a Vahini called Prashnottara Vahini. So I will just refer you all to Prashnottara Vahini.
So the answer for my question is in Prashnottara Vahini that I should read.
Yeah, there's a chapter called Brahma Vidya and Women, sister.
Okay,
All women would like to read that.
thank you.
So he's talking about various women in different grace stages, how they attained. Okay, Saira. Yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Sai Ram. No, I think it was a really important point that you focused in on the translation, which has not come through at all in the English, about the Karma Kanda also being infused with the or the Kratus being infused with jnana, right? I think earlier on in this Vahini, Swami has talked about how, whether it's Aranyakas, Brahmanas, and all these evolved. So everyone had a way to, or there was a way for everyone, there was a path for everyone based on their stage, both in life and also in the spiritual journey. But I think from the Telugu portion at least, as it's been translated, I think Swami is trying to also say that all of it has to eventually result in getting to know that the higher purpose and higher truth. And I wonder also in two lines here when Swami says it's been still practiced in some kind of attenuated form or also practiced in thin form, if Swami is somehow trying to draw our attention to, we might actually be following a lot of the prescriptions of the Kritus today very diligently, but forgetting that the infusion of jnana in them and getting almost fanatical about some of these practices. Swami trying to alert us to, while doing all this, be mindful of the jnana that's infused in all these Kritus, is what I was thinking here. Thank you. But I think thanks for again pointing out the translation. I think that's very important to read that part of it.
Thanks, Sanjay. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother Sairam, in regards to Karma Kanda, I know one is talking about the sacrifice, then is talking about the moral rules for the restriction and regulating the life in every stage. Is that is okay for us to understand, just as even a basic way of understanding in one line or two, basic way of understanding in every, I know ashramas are there, brahmacharya ashrama. What is that moral rules in every ashrama? And what is the restrictions we have, kind of? Is it okay? I know we are not studying
Sister,
Karma Kanda.
see, the translation, some additional pieces have come through.
Okay.
Swami is not talking about any moral codes as far as I can see in Telugu.
Okay.
So what Swami is saying, at each of the stages, what has to be followed, that's Kratu only. Swami has used the word. I will ask Mani Auntie to reconfirm.
Yeah.
Swami, are there any moral rules mentioned, Auntie, in anything? We can just read the Telugu again.
Okay. గృహస్థ వానప్రస్థ సన్యాస బ్రహ్మచర్యములనుబడు అనుబడు ఆశ్రమ ధర్మములు వివిధ పదవి ధర్మములు నేటికిని కొంత అంతో ఇంత మార్పు చెందినను లోకమున కనిపించుచున్నవి. సో దెర్ ఇస్ నో మెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ restrictions or morals. No, it's not mentioned in Telugu.
So Swami has used the word dharma. Okay. So I think when we discuss, we should only think of Shruti here. Okay. Shruti does not say you have to do this, you should not do this, though it recommends you do certain things. Or, it, of course, if you can say, if you read Taittiriya Upanishad, when the student is passing out, there are instructions given what you should do, what you should not do. And there's some advice, okay? I wouldn't call them moral. They're spiritual laws, spiritual rules, if you want to put it that way. Dharma is the word Swami has used. I think So I hope that clarifies it, sister.
Yes, brother. So it's just talk about what is Dharma in every stage.
Manava Dharmam.
Yes. Okay.
So I think, let's take Rudram. Okay. Rudram is appearing in the Samhita portion of the Vedas. Samhita, we have Samhitas, Brahmanas, Arnyakas, Upanishads. If you take Rudram by itself, it is appearing in the Samhita portion, which is Karma Kanda. But the Rudram is also used for various things. You can do chanting, you can study it, you can do meditation on it. Everything can be done with just Rudra. Actually, Rudram is the highest principle of Advaita. That's why it's called Rudra Upanishad also. So Rudram is a classic example. People will say you chant, that's good enough. People say chant and do yajna, that is good enough. You can do chant and do abhishekam, that's good. But it can be studied as Upanishad also. So the thing is, but Swami will say the same thing, Upanishad only is present in the Karma Kanda also. So I'm just giving you one example. But if you chant Rudram and do yajna, you should not forget the underlying jnanam which is embedded in that. If you do not, then what is namaha? That means I am not. I am. So the individual doesn't exist. Everything is God. Surrender. So the bhakti also comes in there. So if you take any of this, you can apply it in any different way at any different level. Okay, so that is why Swami says it is actually Jnana Kandam which is in the Karma Kanda also. But people can find Jnanam even there if they apply themselves, is the thing. But benefits are there at every level. Anyone who practices at what level, there will be, according to the level of understanding and application, there will be benefit. But you can get jnanam also by studying the part of karma kanda, which is what I sort of understand. As I will stop here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sairam.
Auntie.
In each ritual, whenever it is performed, there is some spiritual significance behind it. Without understanding that significance, we do certain actions, certain rituals. But if we are able to cognize that part of it, that spiritual aspect, which is giving, which that action gives, that karma gives, then it will become more meaningful. Saira.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Swami would use the word sartakam. That means it's with meaning, everything which we do. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sairam, brother. So the difference between karma yoga and then karma kanda in jnana yoga. Karma kanda in jnana yoga is only talking about rituals, whereas karma yogi will be doing all actions that are dedicated to God and he doesn't own any doership. So karma yoga covers more than like all actions, and here is only talking about the rituals, right?
Yeah, so thank you very much, Sister. So Sister Vani is asking, is it the word kratu only covers rituals or it covers everything? That's the question Sister is asking. I will open it up.
When we study karma yoga, we said all actions we are sacrificing the fruits. So that's how we understand. So the kratu is coming there too. We are sacrificing all benefits, the fruits of all actions as well. So that's.
Yes, Sister. Thank you. Yes, Brother Thasan, you want to say?
Sairam, brother. So, for an example, under the Karma Kanda, if we take Krakasta, he has the responsible. What is his responsibility? In his responsibility is take care of the sannyasis, food and everything, those kind of things is explained on the Karma Kanda. That is his one of the duty. And the number of different kratus mean whatever, sometime when we do the jagna, we put 108 items inside. So those ones nowadays it's very difficult to obtain those kind of things, and they don't do that one. But whatever the Vedas says, 100% is perfect, and you cannot deny that one. We cannot deny that one because that came from the God's sound, then rishis revealed to us. So this is my understanding, brother Saira.
Thank you very much, brothers. Thank you. So I think Sister Vani's question, so how does Karma Yogam and Karma Kanda come together? Karma, generally all actions, that's what Krishna is telling you, Swami also has mentioned. So are those karmas outside of the kratus? Does the Veda talk about that? And how do we reconcile both is, I think, a question. Anyone would like to share any thoughts? Yes, Brother Srivadas.
I don't think sister's question was karma yoga includes all this. That's what she said.
Yes, but then there are other actions.
Yeah, extra actions are there. So
are those other actions outside of kratu? Is the question.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, they are daily, day-to-day life business now. So, so definitely, Kritus is definitely with the Vedic mantras now. So, okay, Sadish is studying. Okay, go ahead, Sadish.
Sai Satish, Saira.
I'm just trying to use this. So when it is kanda, it's like a section. And so when we say karma kanda, there are certain prescriptions of actions, like you mentioned, Agnihotram, or any other prescription of rights. So, and it is a section, and when it comes as a section, it obviously it governs certain activities that the kratus by itself are concerned with, based on the status of the person, brahmacharya, all of that, whether it is varnas or ashrama dharmas. But karma yoga in itself is the overarching basis on which any of these actions rest on. So when one does the karma palatyaga associated with karma yoga, which is the underlying principles, and suffuses this with any actions, whether it is karma kanda or beyond that, that becomes the basis of even covering jnana kanda, or covering the essence of the Vedas, of identifying who it is. So if you see karma yoga, I would essentially karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and jnana yoga itself sees fulfillment in realizing that the small I is not the doer. So I'm just getting back to that is the foundation on which these are based, and that seamlessly move from one to another. So even if you take the jnana kanda part of the thing, the basis of the jnana kandas that comes there is coming to karma kanda in doing those actions. So it's like primary school of jnana kandas being karma kanda, and then you step forward to secondary or tertiary understanding. But I'll stop here. Just this is what I was thinking of, seeing where the foundation is laid and what is built on that foundation.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother, kanda mean it's a section?
Yeah. So
then how the jnana kanda is coming? Was jnana is going to be a section of?
Yeah. So kanda is generally a section, a part. Okay. It also, see, this kanda concept came from sugar canes. See, in sugar cane, when you take the sugar cane itself is called kanda. So then if you look at a sugar cane, there are portions. It's sugarcane itself divides itself into multiple parts. So Veda is considered to be a sugarcane. There are different sections of the sugarcane. Just the way sugarcane has sections, Vedam also has certain sections or parts. So if you squeeze it enough, you will get the same sweet juice everywhere.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the way the name itself is given, Kanda. Okay.
So the Vedam itself splitted into two. That's two
Yes,
sections.
exactly.
So two
Vedam
khandas,
is a sugarcane, big
Karma
sugarcane.
Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Okay.
Exactly.
Great.
But
Thanks.
in each of the section, there is juices same.
Yeah.
It's sometimes at the bottom you have to squeeze hard. At the top, you may have to squeeze not too much. Okay, so that is the difference. See, even the names are given so wonderfully. Okay, I hope that answers. Maybe I will attempt. See, sister, my understanding is the Vedas cover all actions. Okay. They will say even if you eat, you are doing a yajna. Okay. If you're cleaning yourself also, you have bath, that is also yajna. But if you think it's a yajna. So the thing is, it's all how we treat every activity of ours. So the thing is, karma yoga is the ultimate state of karma, where you buddhi yoga also Swami has introduced in the you apply buddhi in every action. Whether you can do an action without thinking of God, you can take the same action and use it for some desire, or you can do it for the welfare of the world, or you can just do it for the sake of doing, offer everything to God. Yajna is done for the sake of yajna. Chamakam talks about this. So the thing is, all activities are actually within the purview of Vedas. That is the belief of the Veda. There's nothing which is outside of the Veda. So every action actually will have a place in the Veda, number one. But the thing is, the Karma Yoga is the joining of the Jnana with the Karma will become Karma Yoga. Ultimate Karma Yoga is joining the Jnanam with the Karma. So if you study the Bhagavad Gita, there are some sections which very clearly states you apply buddhi on a karma, it becomes elevated. If you don't apply buddhi, it becomes inferior, low. Avaram is the word which is used. So incidentally, we were just discussing that in the Sanskrit class yesterday. So the thing is, every action is prescribed by mentioned in the Vedas. So no activity which we do in this world is outside of that. But of course, if then there are smritis written which expands this concept of the Veda into various moral, laws or guidelines and things like that. There are various smritis which exist, but the Veda doesn't go into those details, into the details. It just gives you principles at the highest level. So everything can be derived from those, is my understanding. So there's nothing outside of Veda in this world. Every action will find a place in the Vedas. Just the way God is Vedam, Vedam is God. So you can't find anything outside of it. I will stop there. Okay, but we may not know all the Veda. See, studying Veda itself is a huge thing. It's not in one lifetime. Bharadwaja Rishi took 300 years and he couldn't touch the surface of it. So it is so everything, all actions are Vedic actions. If only we do it as a yajna offering to God in a pleasing manner to the God. So that's why Kratu is not necessarily fire rituals alone. Is because the brahmachari doesn't do. His study itself is a Kratu for brahmachari. Swadhyaya means adhyayana is his work. Vanaprastha, they will just read Aranyaka and they have to contemplate on it. They may not do. So Swami has covered all ashramas here. So Aranyaka is also one portion. Okay, so they describe how a Vanaprasthi should live. I think we have studied and it was very scary for all of us to be a Vanaprastha. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Sairam.
Sarah and Uncle, when you say all actions, do you mean is there I mean, I'm assuming it excludes bad actions,
What is bad?
things that you should not be doing? ought not to do, I guess.
Recently I read a discourse where Swami is asking, when everything is God, some people ask, whether feces is God. Okay. Swami said, yes, your feces is also God. Okay. So in the eyes of God, there's nothing bad. As long as the inner intention with an action, that is what makes it spoiled or not. Then you can ask, is that quality also is bad? No, at the wrong place, it is bad. Okay. The ultimate analysis, which is what we yesterday studied. For a jnani, he doesn't have sukrit or duskrit. Okay. For him, both are same. He's beyond that also. See, only when you transcend to that level, it's beyond you. But in the ultimate analysis, everything is. But it depends on our own stage of development. For jnani, it is there's no merit, no demerit, no papa, no punya. Because he's looking at only atmic level, so it does not. Okay, so I know it can be very confusing, morally confusing for many people, but I will just leave. Yes, Brother Asa.
So, Sairam, brother. So, what's the meaning then? What's the meaning of the kratus or sacrifices? And they're talking about the fire too here.
That in the translation they are mentioned, brother, but I will.
So that means that's what I'm thinking about. Maybe that when they do the jatna, they sacrifice those items. Now it is not available or not available, but people are not taking interest to put into the jatna. Can we take it like that?
So, brother, the word kratu, you can look up dictionaries. You'll have hundreds of meanings. Even the name of Vishnu is also kratu.
Yeah.
Worship is also kratu. Fire sacrifice is also kratu. Enlightenment is also kratu. So that's why I said all Vedic sanctioned activities are kratus. So let's just
sanctified fire are mentioned, offered in the fire.
Yes, in the English translation, they have only mentioned one meaning of kratu. Swami has used the word kratu, he has not expanded it even. Okay, so the translation is sort of minimizing the meaning, is my personal view. Swami has used it in the broadest sense, brother.
Okay.
Okay, Saira. Anyway, that's my opinion, so I don't want, but as much as possible, we should take the widest application of a word. So kratu, so that's why if Swami has to explain what is kratu, Swami would have said Agnihotram or something like that. Swami did not do it. He just used the word kratu. So I hope I will. But generally, people assign it to fire sacrifices, which is what the translator has done here. Okay, if everyone is okay, we will go. I hope Swami will clarify some of these things as we go.
Sairam, the Jnana Kanda is called Vedanta, or the end of the Vedas, the goal, the finale. The Jnana Kanda is enshrined in the Upanishads. The adherents of the Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Advaita schools of philosophical thought, the worshippers of Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Surya, and Ganapati, all accept the supreme authority of the Vedas. They may interpret the Upanishads and other texts according to their own predilections and intellectual caliber, but no one dare questions the authority of the Veda or the Vedanta. So it is possible to use the words Hindu, Bharatiya, or Vedantin to the same person. The various schools of philosophical thought current at the present time may appear difficult to comprehend or as derived from unripe understanding. But when the matter is thought over in quiet, or the texts are studied in silence or investigated without prejudice, it will become clear that they have all relied on the points raised and the conclusions arrived at in the Upanishads. The Upanishads are being symbolized and worshipped in image form in temples and in private shrines as a tribute to this universal appeal. They have entwined themselves inseparably in our lives.
Very nice. Thank you very much, sister. Auntie, we can read.
We can read. Gnanakandamuna Pitine Vedantamu, Vedagramu, Veda Saramu, Veda Paramarthamu, Veda Vignana Sadhanamu, Anunavi, Upanishutulani Piluvapadutunnadi.
Very nice, Swami.
It has got a lot of things.
Now Swami is now only is talking about Jnana Marga or Jnana Kanda. Swami is saying it is the Paramarthika Bhavamulu, means it's the supreme goals which I described. That means in the Jnana Kanda, these are called Vedanta. That means the end of the Vedas. Vedagramu, the primary thing of the Vedas.
Beginning of the Vedas, is it?
Beginning of the Vedas. Agram means Agrana, the highest
Antamu,
also.
Antamu, Agramu.
Agram.
No, it has both. Have
Okay, that way also we can take.
Yeah.
Veda Saramu, it's the essence of the Vedas.
Ah.
Veda Paramarthamu, that means the supreme meaning of the Vedas. Veda Vijnana Saramu, this is the knowledge of the essence of the knowledge of the Vedas. Anunavi, such are Upanishads. They are called Upanishads.
Yeah, okay. So Upanishads have got so many words. So many. Yeah, Swami is saying Vedanta, Vedagra, Vedasara, Veda Paramartha, Veda Vignana.
Yes.
So,
Can Vedagra mean pinnacle?
Pinnacle, yes, the highest. Pinnacle is one of the meaning.
Yeah. Dvaitulu kani, Vishishta Dvaitulu kani, Advaitulu kani, Leka Shaivulu kani, Vaishnavulu kani. So it goes on swimming. Okay.
You can read the whole thing until then.
Okay. Dvaitalu kani, Vishishta Dvaitalu kani, Advaitalu kani.
So whether they are Dvaita dualists or they are qualified
monoism
or qualified non-dualists or the non-dualists.
Leka Shaivalu kani, Vaishnavalu kani.
Whether they be the worshippers of Shiva or the worshippers of Vishnu.
Shaktulu kani, Saurulu kani.
Whether they were Shaktas who worship the mother or those who worship the sun.
Ganapatulu kani, Evarainanu.
Whether they worship Ganesha or whoever it is.
Vedopanishattula pramanamulanu angikarinchiye tiravalenu.
They have to accept the authority of the Vedas.
Evari ishta prakaramu varu aya upanishattuluku arthamulo veruveruga cheppukonavachunu.
Each of them may be able to, according to their what they like, they may give various meanings for these Upanishads.
Variki ee vishayamuna paripurna swecha galadu.
For them, there is total freedom available.
Kani vani pramanikata angikarimpakundu swecha evariki ledu.
But no one has the freedom to declare the not accept the authority of the Vedas.
Vani pramanikata angikarimpakundu swecha. Not
so
accepting.
They do not have the authority. They don't have the freedom not to accept the authority of the Vedas.
Kavunane ikkada Hindu shabdamunaku Bharata shabdamunaku Vedanta shabdamunnu upyoginchu konuchunnamu.
So we are using various terms like Hindu, Bharata, Vedanta, etc. for this.
Yeah. Ippudu vyaptilo unna mata శాఖలన్నీయు అపరిపక్వముగా ఉన్నను
whatever religion which is present today, even if they are immature or not completely mature,
కనిపించను వాటి ఉద్దేశములు ఎంత దురవగాహముగా
తోచినను,
తోచినను
even if their understanding or their intentions seem to be not so proper,
దురవగాహముగా అంటే ఇట్ అవగాహన అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ అవగాహన ఇస్ టు
not to be well aware of it,
misinformed or misinformed,
not completely aware.
దురవహగా
Swami has used the word dur means some. Swami has given some negative
Yes.
connotation to that. That means
Yes.
they're sort of misleading also.
Yes.
సావధానముగా విచారించినచో, పఠించినచో, పరిశీలించినచో వాటినంటికి ఉపనిషద్ భావములే మూలము అని తెలియవచ్చును.
So if somebody leisurely or with patience, if it is studied and contemplated upon and inquired, we will find that for all of them, the underlying principle is the same. That will Upanishads is the feelings of the Upanishads or the principles of the Upanishads are ingrained in them, will become apparent.
భారత జాతిలోనికి లేక హైందవ మతములోనికి ఉపనిషత్తులంతా పూర్తిగా లోతుగా దిగబడిపోయినవి. భారత జాతిలోనికి లేక హైందవ మతంలోనికి, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ హిందూయిజం ఆర్ ఇన్
Bharata Jati.
భారత్
We will call upon Sitaram.
Yes, Anna.
భారత జాతిలోనికి లేక హైందవ మతములనికి.
హైందవ మతంలోనికి.
Oh, I see. Oh, I think
Into the
here the leka is or, I think, no?
Or.
Yes,
Yeah.
or
Not only for Bharata the jati of people who are born in Bharat or the Hindu religion.
Hindus.
ఉపనిషత్తులంతా పూర్తిగా లోతుగా దిగబడిపోయినవి.
They have descended or come something
Upanishads have been absorbed into them completely.
Oh, digabadipoinavi means
completely absorbed.
Absorbed.
Okay.
I think a little more, auntie, is there?
కావుననే
Yes.
విగ్రహాది రూపములందు అవి ఆరాధింపబడుచున్నవి.
So in the same way, they are being worshipped through the worship of the vigrahas.
Idols. నేడును మన ఇండ్లందు కానీ దేవాలయములందు కానీ ఉపనిషత్తులు అర్చన స్థానమును అలంకరించుచున్నవి.
Sitaram, you want to attempt this?
మన ఇండ్లలో కానీ దేవాలయంలో కానీ,
either in our houses or temples,
ఉపనిషత్తులు అర్చన స్థానమును అలంకరించుచున్నవి.
Upanishads have occupied the state of worship, archana.
మన జీవితంతో అవినాభావ సంబంధం ఏర్పరచుకొని శాశ్వతముగా నిలిచిపోయినవి.
Upanishads have become part of our lives so intimately and have become a constant eternal in our lives.
Siren.
Thank you very much, Sitaram. Thank you. So Swami is saying whatever we do also is essentially from the Upanishad, what I have been. Yes, thank you. So I will open it up for discussion.
Even the idol worship is also
Upanishads.
Upanishads. It symbolizes Upanishads.
When Swami was talking about all the religious sects that are currently prevalent, even if they appear immature or unripe, that sentence, is he referring to the religious sects outside of Bharat as well, or just the ones within Bharat?
Yeah. So my understanding, Kalyani, is Swami is talking about, already Swami has talked about, now he's talking only about Vedas. So whichever consider Veda as the authority, then he's only talking about that at this point in time, is my understanding. But I think later on, subsequently, he's bringing others also into the similar fold. But here, Swami, because Swami is talking about the Vedas themselves and how they have evolved. So I think one of the problems people have is people look at the various worship styles in India today, and they will think, oh, is this Hinduism? Is this what is taught by the Vedas? That's why Swami is saying, even though they may be immature in their understanding and expression, they are all energized by the same root, which is the Upanishads and the Vedas, is what Swami is telling. So I think Swami is talking about the various manifestations of the same principles which are in the Vedas, how they have come to be in Bharat itself. And I think Swami, in the first chapter or second chapter, Swami already talked about, the mushrooming of various things in Bharat also Swami has attributed already. And as such mushrooming can be seen even new manifestations today also. There are, different people coming up with different things and they becoming very popular. Though they may be even completely devoid of the Vedas, they don't even mention. But the reality is they are all inspired by Vedic principles only. Even if they say, no, it is not, they may not even give primacy to the Vedas. They are also energized and infusing the same principle which are enshrined in the Vedas, is, I think, my understanding. So these comments only relate to the Bharatiya traditions which have come about. Is my understanding. I may be wrong. I will open it up for others to share their thoughts. Saira.
And
Please,
so
Sanjay. Sanjay, please go ahead.
No, Kalyani, finish your follow-up question and then I can go. Please.
just one more thing I want to clarify. So when Swami was saying that these different worshippers of Shiva, Shakti, all of them, they necessarily have to accept the authority of the Vedas, but they have full, complete freedom to interpret them differently in the way they like. Okay.
Yes. Sanjay.
There was one, I think there's one section here in the English, it's completely missed the translation from the Telugu sentence. That's right after uh, right after that, I think it's after the line, the various schools of philosophical thought current at the present time may appear difficult to comprehend or is derived. There's one part where I think Sitaram also translated as
Duravagahamu.
yeah. No, I think the word which was there was a Hindu word there somewhere in the Telugu. In that,
Haindava Swami has used.
ಅಲ್ಲ
It's right. It's right before the line which says the Upanishads are being symbolized and worshipped in image form in temples. It's the somewhere right before that.
That's second last sentence. The Upanishads are being symbolized and worshipped in the image form in temples
before
and in
that,
private shrines.
Shall I read?
Yes, Auntie, please.
భారత జాతిలోనికి లేక హైందవ మతములోనికి ఉపనిషత్తులంతా అంతా పూర్తిగా లోతుగా దిగబడిపోయినవి. That's what you wanted to know?
Yes, Auntie, that's the word. Because I don't think that is translated here in English.
So I think Survey Swami says they may interpret the Upanishads and other texts according to their own prediction. No, it's. I think that's not even mentioned.
Yeah,
it is not here, and it's a standalone statement as well. In fact.
Yes.
So, Sitaram, the word Digabadi
So Digabadi by itself is a negative one. It's used in
Yes.
negative connotation. But
Yes.
when you attach it to Lotiga Digabadi, means it is deeply ingrained,
Okay.
Deeply ingrained.
deeply
Okay.
absorbed. In fact,
Okay.
you can
Thank
take
you very
distilled or any such words.
Okay. Very good.
If Lotika was not there, then Digabadi is like deprived of some
Negative.
part.
Exactly. Okay. Fine.
So Swami
Because
is way
something
off.
like downtrodden or something like that. It's like
Yeah, Digabadi means
fall down.
yes. But Swami has used it to make the Lotika superlative.
Okay. So that means it is the roots. They are the roots which are there within everything, type of meaning. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Not even roots. I think it's more of the water itself. The source
Okay.
itself is watering the roots of Bharatiya culture and
Okay.
Haindava culture.
Okay. Very
That's
nice.
how I should tell.
Thank you. That's why I was a bit confused. Thanks. Swami puts the right people in the right place. Thank you. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Now, just going to say it means literally ingrained. It's ingrained. That's why it become the essence of every Bharatiya or the Haindava.
The next sentence after that one, is it saying that therefore in forms such as idols, they, meaning the Upanishads, are being worshipped?
Yeah, I think we'll read the Auntie again. Read the last sentence, Auntie.
Yeah. Okay.
Archana.
Sure. Neduno mana.
One sentence before that, Auntie.
Okay. దిగపడి కావుననే విగ్రహాది రూపములందు అవి ఆరాధింపబడుచున్నవి. That sentence you wanted? Yeah.
Yes. So the Avi is referring to Upanishads?
Yes.
So the Upanishads themselves are being worshipped in the form of idols.
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier too, how the Jnana Marga is being represented in these rituals.
Exactly. Swami is explaining this here. So even the Vigraha Adhana, Swami is saying is Upanishads only. We may not realize that it is the Jnana, Bhavam is there, but it is there.
So it kind of carries the meaning that it's not the idol that's being worshipped, it's the Upanishads that's being worshipped in that.
The truths in the Upanishad, the principle is very nice.
See, I think idol is a very bad, poor translation for Vigraha. And when you break down Vigraha, it actually specifies more clearly what aspect of principle of the Upanishad that is being focused through the Vigraha. That which captures the very essence of the one Vishesha of the Upanishad. So idol sometimes, unfortunately, the English translation is very poor and misleading for Vigraha.
So sorry, Vigraha can be broken down into V and Graha, is that?
Yes.
So Graha means to grasp, right?
Contain, grasp, hold.
And V, what Vishesha?
Yeah, Vishesha, in a very specialized way, you can say. It's like a container, it's like a cup which holds the essence of Upanishads in it. So we can drink it. Swami has used the word rasa,
That's Vishesha is there. Another way to interpret Vishaya Graha, meaning the one particular aspect of the principle that is
captured.
That is, yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sairam, brother. So in the last paragraph, we talked about the Vedas early parts, which are the kratus or the ashrama dharmas, and now we are talking about the end of the Veda, which is Upanishads, which is talking about whoever you pray, whatever the philosophical thought you have, whether you're a Hindu or Bharatiya Vedantin, like you can interpret or arrive at the conclusions, and also it supports the worship of vigrahas, temples, and private shrines. So in the earlier part, the first section of the Karma Kanda doesn't talk about vigrahas or worship of gods. It's just talking about ashrama dharmas. And then here is where you're talking about worshipping of God, the vigrahas, and those. Is that how the Vedas and Upanishads are being separated? Or I don't know whether I'm understanding it correctly, Brahma.
Okay, sister. Thank you for the question. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Ramana, I was just going to say, I think the Upanishad, what Swami would give the meaning as Upanishad, in, being seated in proximity, that itself is again proximity for a beginner or even person who is on that path, to be in proximity with the formless. Since it becomes challenging, the form, or now what was told for Vigraha kind of a thing, becomes a place to start. So, leading into what Sister Vani was asking, I think essencing the again for the Vedanta or the Upanishad is to essence now that the form that you are seated near, to understand that is to result in realizing the formless within will complete the jnana part. So I was just trying to place it with what Sister Kalyani was mentioning earlier with regard to sitting. The Upanishads itself take the form is more of the deities, like whether we say what Swami was mentioning, whether it is people who worship Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, or the Mother or Ganesha. It's all coming down to how that seeker on that path is seated in one sense near the form, or the chosen form, which again helps to essence the formless within. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you very much.
Sairam,
Yes, Auntie.
this worshipping of Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Surya, and Ganapati is Panchayatana. This type of worshipping was introduced by Sri Shankaracharya because the Dvaita philosophy or Vishishta Dvaita and Advaita, it was too difficult for a common man to comprehend. So this was introduced by Sri Shankaracharya so that, it is accepted form in Panchayatana Puja. That's what I think it says about Saira.
Thank you, Auntie. Yes, Brother Thasan.
Yes, Sairam, brother. I like to add to the points here. Here, Jnanakanda. So, here Swami is explaining whoever believing thing. Some people they believe Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti. So they have their own path, but still they don't argue or they don't have any misunderstanding with the Vedas. But Upanishads is written by someone. So the people will understand according to their knowledge, whatever they have.
Sairam, brother.
Yeah.
I think you should have attended the previous one.
Yeah.
Study circle. None of them are written by anyone.
The Upanishads are based on the Vedas, yeah?
Yes, brother. Vedas, see.
Hmm.
So Vedas are not written by anyone.
No, that's I agreed.
Yes.
The Upanishads are all based on the Vedas.
Upanishads are also part of the Vedas, brother. Okay. They are not separate from the Vedas.
So if we take Ramayana.
So that Ramayana is not Upanishads, brother. Okay. So Upanishads cover Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads.
Okay.
That's all is Vedas. Okay. Ramayana doesn't fall anywhere there. Ramayana comes as an itihasa.
Okay.
Okay. So they are not considered part of Vedas.
So, so that means Upanishads also the rishis listen to the sound and they wrote it.
Yes, brother. They didn't write. They just listened and communicated.
Okay.
Okay. So it was passed on, but they are all considered Ishvaravani, the word of God. they experienced and then they gave form in terms of words and they taught their disciples. So they did not, they just transmitted as conceived by them, as
So,
perceived by them.
so what is the meaning of the various school of the different people they interpret different way.
So that Swami has covered it here, brother. They are
Okay.
all unripe interpretation of the Vedic concepts. Because people who don't know anything about the Vedas come up with their own ideas. It may be inspired by some Vedic thought which they themselves have not learned. And they will think, oh, we understand Vedam and interpret or comment or talk about it. That's all, brother.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
Just to go to Sister Vani's question, Sister Vani was asking whether these and the kratus are the same. And I think that's where we are. Sister Vani wanted to know whether Swami mentioned kratus, but now we are talking about Vigraharadhana. We are talking about people worshipping forms in God, at home. Even the religions of Shaiva, Vaishnava, all of them are also, people say these were subsequent introductions. They are not sanctioned by Vedas. There are people today in the standard schools of things, they will say these are all outside of the Vedas. There are people saying. But Swami is saying, no, no, no. They are also inspired and the Upanishad truths are ingrained in them also. So this is a version which Swami, which is teaching us, which is actually misunderstood even in India by even many of the so-called scholars and saints, sannyasis. And Swami gives a completely different understanding, saying that even if anyone is worshipping, all that has been, watered from the same spring of the Vedas is what Swami is trying to say. But they could be unripe or, immature, but they are all inspired. And the Upanishad truths are prevalent even among them is what Swami is telling here. So, sister, I think I would say the Kratus may not necessarily encompass all that Swami has said here, but there are some portions of that may belong to the Kratu part in the Karma Kand. So these are various interpretations of that which people are practicing. But Swami says even they are inspired by the Upanishadic thought. Is my understanding, but I will stop. Others can share their thoughts. Sorry.
Just that one line where it says Nedunu Mana, and that one, in whether in our homes or in our temples, is it basically saying whether in our homes or in our temples, the Upanishads are what is decorating the altars of worship? Similar sort of sentiment there.
We may not realize it, but it is so. That's the way I think. Yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Sairam, though I was a little bit curious about why Swami mentioned Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Surya, and Ganapati, and as Auntie mentioned, um,
Panchayat.
exactly. And also, it's interesting to note. I just did a little bit of search. It's interesting to note that they represent the five elements. The fire, water, Shakti is fire. Shiva is fire, water. Vishnu is water, ether. Shakti is fire. Surya is air, earth, and Ganesha is earth, space. So I guess that's where the basis of it from the Upanishad comes about. Um, but I had a different question, and we may be running out of time. So, one of so in the previous section, Swami did mention about the Jnana Kanda, the Jnana being infused in all of these, right? Sometimes, as individuals, it can be a little bit overwhelming when somebody justifies a certain ritual of today and certain form of worship of today. Deep-rooted belief systems can be overwhelming. How do we go about navigating the quote-unquote jnana that people have been ascribing to the karmas or the kratus? And what is the litmus test one has to use to determine whether that is the right jnana or not, or it is just confusion? That is the question I had.
Sanjay, you have opened a question which will need a couple of sessions to discuss. But see, I will just talk about the five mantras which Swami has mentioned here and Anti's Panchayatana. See, that's some historical context for Shankaracharya's descent on earth and what he did. Because what had happened before Shankaracharya came, there was a lot of infighting among believers in different forms. So there were actually some of the Tamils are going to take up offense because Kaumaram is not mentioned here. But he was called Shanmata Sthapaka. You know, what happened was at that time when Shankaracharya was born, the Hinduism was practiced in 6 different forms. Other than these 5, Kaumara, that is worship of Kumara, also was there. Kaumara. So what happened? There was a lot of infighting among these schools. And due to that, there was some deterioration in the way they practiced the religion also. So what Shankaracharya did was, at that time, because of that Jaina and Bauddha, these schools of thoughts, which were Nastika philosophies, they were becoming more prevalent, and the Astika principle, which is those who believe in the primacy of Vedas, was dwindling. So that was the time when Shankaracharya came. So what he had a big human task of bringing everyone together. So he prescribed what's called Advaita principle. Not only Advaita from a highest point of view, he also made sure that there is no separation among all these 5, 6 schools of thoughts. So that is how he established his Panchayatana, to inculcate in everyone the understanding that we are all worshipping the same divinity in all these forms, thus bringing unity among these various worshippers of various forms of God. So that was a great service done by Shankaracharya. And so after he came, everyone started worshipping everyone. That is the greatest gift of Shankaracharya, whether they understood non-dualism or Advaita or not. But he brought about such unity that after that Hinduism was rejuvenated to a great extent. And that impact is felt even today. So that's the greatest service he did, and that's why he was considered an avatar who came down to help Hinduism again take root. And it took root in a great way because of his work, traveling far everywhere. Now coming to Sanjay's question. Okay, Sanjay's question is a very vast question. He's asking, how do we know whether someone, what they practice is Vedic or not? How does anyone know, and how do we find the Vedic principle within each of those worship? Am I right, Sanjay? Or
Slight variation, slightly
okay,
qualify
please.
the question. Yeah, not so much as whether it's Vedic or not, but more so the principle behind. There's a lot of there's a lot of misconception, misunderstanding, and partisan prejudice, and all that stuff that comes into the principle behind a lot of the rituals. And what is, as anyone who is interested in the spiritual path, how do you navigate this, and what is the litmus test one can use to, like, okay, this does not make sense, so on. That's the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. Sister Aruna has her hand up.
I think almost time up. I was just thought of asking. I wanted to understand a little more on this paragraph because we are discussing at the top, in the middle, and back again. So I was thinking about the Upanishads part, the symbolized and worshipped images. That's mean it's like as you have taken up the example before, Rudram, how the rishis have Natum, Trastum, kind of like whatever they have seen, that's the images. Kind of, we can look into this one.
Yes, it's a good question, but I don't think we can explore today. Swami, I think we will discuss. So there are two questions now outstanding. Brother Yoga Kumaran also has raised his hand.
Saramana, from next time you finish with the conclusion. So the conclusion will stay in our mind. Otherwise, all the questions are in my mind. The conclusion come in my mind. So from next week, not today, next week, that comes the conclusion last, which is stick in our heart. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you. So if I think, sometimes it first there has to be churn and then only everything will come down. It's okay. I'm sure Swami will show his way, explain to us, because Swami is the one who is churning of all of us. I think very valid questions. Maybe just quickly summarizing, the thing is, even though Swami has mentioned all this, Swami has prescribed and shown us what we should do and how we should worship. This is for our general understanding, is what I would say. Swami has simplified the kratus for us. I think, and he has told us how we should even pursue, whether it's seva or whether it's study or whether it's bhajan. He has shown us the way, and he has also taught us so much. So I think we can try to focus as much on that as much as possible, I would say. And to know what is right or wrong, in everything there is right. Also, I think it's a matter of how we analyze, as Swami said, savadhanam. We have to, patiently inquire, and we will find that everything is actually stemming from that. So I think what is required is patience. I'm sure Swami will guide us. Wonderful discussion, wonderful questions. All of us to contemplate and analyze, and hopefully we'll slowly and patiently analyze and inquire. With those thoughts, we'll close the session today with Samasta Loka prayer. Sairam, everyone. Sairam. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.